more people are building crypto products. So I feel like that gives us a chance to be more than just users of crypto, especially in Africa, but also like builders of crypto and crypto infrastructure. There's a lot of crypto activity in Africa. If you look at the statistics, there's about $150 billion worth of like yearly volume of crypto moving through Africa.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of T-Pods, the Pulse of Tech podcast. Today, we're talking about crypto, all about crypto, the crypto adoption in Africa and the African market. Joining us is the amazing Moore Dagogo Hart, also known as Moore DH. He's a Nigerian tech entrepreneur, blockchain architect, and co-founder of Zap Africa, home to Africa's first non-custodial crypto wallet and exchange. He's also the founder of Syx Labs, I got that correctly, Syx Labs, SYX Labs, now Cognito Systems, a cutting-edge AI and blockchain development studio. He is a University of Lagos alumni, and he has experience from Goldman Sachs and numerous startup ventures. Moore brings unique insights to this crucial conversation, crypto adoption in the African market. So we're pretty much going to talk about how we would be building trust in the African ecosystem, emerging markets, because there's just a lot of things to talk about. So we'll just get straight into it. Yeah, so Moore, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Okay, I'm doing great. That was such a nice introduction. Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome. I know I've done most of the introduction already, but is there anything else about your journey that you would love to share? Personally, I would like to know what your biggest driver was that got you to fall in love with crypto.
So my biggest driver that got me to fall in love with crypto, I mean, it's a lot of things, but I'll just cut it down to one thing, and not just crypto, tech in general, right? So since I was young, there's something that I feel like really pushes me to like build or execute, and it is my love for creating something out of nothing, right? It's always pushed me to like build stuff and just like keep pushing, right? So I would say that's really what brought me here. It's like a curiosity thing, right? And I just love building something out of nothing.
Yeah, 100%. I 100% can relate to that as well. There's that special bond you have with the technologies that you're using, as long as you can, like, people are using what you are creating, right? You're writing code, you are pushing pixels, and something is coming alive. So yeah, amazing.
Exactly.
So how did your journey start? So maybe you can go back to like your school days, like how did you build that love for building things?
So my journey really started in secondary school. So I think the first time I found like code, HTML, CSS, and stuff like that, it was in SS2. I was supposed to write this exam. I don't know if you know, it's IGCSE, right? And one of the computer subjects, they had a HTML and CSS course, and that was something I'd never seen before, right? So really, secondary school, I got my hands into web design. Then university, my first year, I studied computer engineering, University of Lagos. So my first year, we did a computer programming course. Well, unfortunately, we were programming like C++, which is more technical, but that still made me want to go deep into coding. And I mean, I've just been coding ever since. I've been building projects. In uni, my final year project was an AI bot that can help detect sexual predators in chat rooms. So that was when I dabbled into AI for the first time as well. And I also started working at Goldman Sachs in my final year in uni before I graduated, and then went to work for them in London. So basically, it really started with code and like just building stuff that would actually make a difference, that would help people solve their problems. That's really how it started.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really amazing. When I was introducing you, I spoke about Zap Africa and how it's the home to Africa's first non-custodial crypto wallet and exchange. People watching or listening may be wondering what does that exactly mean? What is a non-custodial crypto exchange? So can you elaborate on that? so people can understand exactly what that means?
Okay, sure, definitely. So I would say non-custodial literally means no custody, right? And for to break it down and like make it simpler, I would say imagine you have money, right? And usually to spend your money, you would put your money in a bank, right? And that way the bank has custody of your money. And really, if the bank goes down, or if the bank gets shut down somehow, that means your money goes with the bank, right? And you would not have access to your money. And then there's so many times you want to withdraw your money and you can't withdraw your money. So non-custodial is the opposite of that. That is custodial because you're giving somebody your money to hold and they have full access to your money. But with non-custodial platforms like Zap, you don't give us access to your money, right? And we don't hold your money. So basically, we don't hold customers' funds, and customers are free to transfer their money whenever they like. They could even use other non-custodial platforms whenever they like if they don't want to use Zap anymore. So basically, it's sort of like a way for freedom, right? And it helps customers have access to their money without having to trust the platform. So yeah, that's non-custodial. I hope that was simple enough.
Yeah, very, very simple. So, I mean, I can essentially have full control over my wallet and my funds. I can move it wherever I want and it belongs to me. It doesn't belong to the institution, in quotes. Okay.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
that's clear enough. That's clear enough. Okay. So let's go into our first question. Since we are talking about crypto in emerging markets, so Africa, for
Mhm.
example, in simple terms, how would you describe crypto's position in Africa right now?
So crypto's position in Africa, I would say, is very is still quite early. There's a lot of crypto activity in Africa. If you look at the statistics, there's about $150 billion worth of like yearly volume of crypto moving through Africa. The adoption rate of crypto is also really high in Africa. We look at Nigeria. Nigeria is second or third when it comes to crypto adoption in the whole world. So I would say right now there's a lot of cryptocurrency moving in Africa, and a lot of people are moving away from the normal fiat currencies and the normal banking system because obviously the banking system has had its issues over the years, right? Um, but another thing I would say is like there's not a lot of infrastructure, right? There's not a lot of African systems and tools that are crypto based, right? Most of the platforms that Africans use are from the US or from Europe or even from Asia, but not a lot of platforms are in Africa right now, even though there's a lot of adoption in Africa.
Wow, that's quite interesting. I mean, I knew the number was big, but I didn't realize it was that big. 150 billion in transaction volume. That's very interesting. And I know most people use, like you said, the platforms, you know, that's not made in Nigeria. So we have like the Binances and all
Hmm.
that. So if so many people are using it, or at least so much transactions are going through crypto, so why do you think there's so much skepticism against crypto in African communities and there's really no trust?
Okay. Um, so why I feel like there's no trust and like crypto just has skepticism. I would say is definitely from the beginning, like the inception of crypto, kind of like how crypto came about. First of all, no one really knows the person that created the first crypto. So that's for one. And that generally drove some lack of trust in the system. And then also I would say the marketing for crypto. Crypto was branded like a get rich quick scheme, right? And it was marketed like MMM kind of, and that really um also gave it some bad light. And if you look at crypto as well, if you actually trade crypto or you use crypto, you would notice that there's a lot of like scams, there's a lot of hacks, and generally can make people feel like the system is unsafe, right? Because like I said, it was a get rich quick scheme to a lot of people. And when they saw stuff like rug pulls, or they saw meme coins going up and then crashing back down, right? That would generally just make people not trust it. And also in Africa, like a lot of governments banned it at first. Even Nigeria, it was banned until 2023, right? So that would generally also like drive people to not trust crypto. But yeah, I feel like those were the major things that caused the lack of trust in crypto.
Yeah, and to be honest, the crypto products are not very easy to use as well for the
True.
regular non-techie person, because it's so complex to use and convoluted sometimes. It's easy for them to get scammed, and they're like,
Yeah.
do I send my money here? Do I not send my money there? Like
Yeah.
wallet addresses are so long, you can make mistakes,
Hmm.
your money is lost forever and all those things. So I think the barrier for entry is really high. And
True.
I mean, I'm not really in the crypto space, but once in a while I think about how can we actually build products and platforms that are easy to use, that actually lower that barrier of entry. It's not something I've really dabbled in, but that would be your space as well.
Definitely,
Maybe all those
like
things can help.
with Zap, I feel like we're definitely taking that a step further, because one of the things we try to do is we focus on user experience, and we also focus on newbies, right? Because we know we're trying to onboard a lot of people into crypto. So our front end usually looks like, let's say, something as easy as Cash App. But even though our backend is doing a lot of infrastructure work like MetaMask, right? We try to abstract that part from the users and just make everything simple, easy to use, hard to get scammed on, right? So that's basically what we do at Zap. So like I'm happy you even mentioned it, because we're definitely trying to fix that problem with Zap.
Yeah, I think if products in Africa or products in Nigeria, for example, because to be honest, let's even start in Nigeria, because Nigeria is like one of the best adopters, I would say, of crypto. Most of the people that still use it are, they're like tech people that had to go and learn it. I feel like if people have to really learn your product, then it's not going to become mainstream. So
Yeah.
reducing that barrier of entry, I think, would help to improve that trust, and then maybe drive adoption even better. And to be honest, the non-custodial stack that you also mentioned, I think that goes a long way in selling that trust as well, that that your
Oh
company
my
will not
God.
just shut down and run away with your money eventually. Yeah, maybe that would work. But I would like to talk about, I mean, we've already started. I would like to talk about how builders can do better in building, like developers or designers. I know a lot of people brand themselves now as
Mhm.
crypto designers, crypto developers, Web3, and there's a very distinct design language that they use now. You mentioned to me that your vision is to be at the forefront of building trust for crypto in Africa. So from your perspective, how can products in terms of development and design build trust from day one? I know you already mentioned that, you're trying to improve the user experience. Are there any other things that you're working on that can help you drive that vision that you have?
So I feel like uh in crypto, some of the things I've seen that really increase trust, say transparency, because a lot of crypto platforms are not very transparent. I think another one would be user control. It's because if the user like fully has control over their funds, um, they will definitely trust the platform more. As a crypto user, I would say I definitely trust Wallet over Binance, right? Because
Mm.
I've seen I've seen platforms go down like FTX, Celsius, Patricia, and that
FTX
makes me
was a
really
big one.
trust was a really big one, right? And yeah,
Patricia as well,
transparency,
yeah.
because transparency it really drives trust, because if I know that okay, this company has these funds, and when I say transparency, I mean things like proof of proof of reserves, proof of liquidity, and things that just show people that, okay, what you're saying is actually what is there. Because at the end of the day, blockchain is like an open technology. Everyone can see what is happening on it. Just being transparent, kind of like the blockchain. And yeah, I already talked about user experience. So I think those three things would really drive trust in crypto. Transparency, user experience, and user control.
Yeah. Something you said really caught my attention. You talked about proof of liquidity. What's that exactly? So I have an idea, but I just want you to explain it how it is exactly.
Okay. So proof of liquidity is a kind of, I don't want to make it technical and say like it's a mechanism, because it really is literally what the name says, right? It's a platform showing proof that they are not insolvent and they have enough liquidity to carry on operations and to fill customers' trades, or to, for example, centralized exchanges. They usually hold customers' funds. So proof of liquidity would be them showing that, okay, these are our wallets that have all these customer deposits. So if customers need their funds, this makes it obvious that we can give every customer back their funds. And yeah, it just shows that, it helps show that an exchange can fill every trade and has the customers' deposits and they're not just spending it, right? And yeah, I feel like that's what proof of liquidity is.
They are not using it to invest, to raise more money for themselves. Okay, that makes sense. Because there are moments where people will be trying to withdraw on certain platforms, and it takes a very long time for their withdrawal to go through, because there's no liquidity, and then they have to do some moving around for that money to go. So that's actually quite interesting. So if the users are well informed that they can always check the proof of liquidity and things like that, that would really help to build a lot of trust. So that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. So what's your favorite example of crypto product market fit in the continent so far? Because for me, what I usually see is essentially payments, right? You can make payments, you can transfer, there's P2P. What exactly do you think would help to get crypto into the mainstream markets? What kind of features, what kind of products do you think in the future can hit product market fit, or is it in product market fit right now?
Okay. For product market fit, I feel like there are really two main crypto, would I say, products or ways of using crypto that I would say has like caught a lot of people's attention in Nigeria especially, and it's P2P, right? And second one is WhatsApp vendors. I mean, I think you would be surprised how much volume gets traded on WhatsApp.
I had no idea.
Yeah, there's a lot of vendors.
That's interesting.
So I feel like those two things really have hit product market fit in Nigeria, and we really just have to find ways to take out the best parts from these two things, like P2P and WhatsApp vendors, and put it on an amazing app, right, that would make things easier and make people just easily hop on the platform and use that.
That's interesting. I mean, right now, the only major thing I use crypto for is to buy gift cards. That's the only thing. So I use a lot of P2P, and I just use it to buy gift cards, like my PS5, or if it's Amazon or something. But yeah, it's interesting to hear about WhatsApp vendors. Yeah?
I said yeah, I do that a lot too, like buying gift cards for PlayStation and for Apple sometimes. Yeah. But I mean, crypto can be used for a whole lot of things though. You can easily use crypto to buy USD, right? It can be used to like go from Naira to other currencies, right? It's like a bridge between the African currencies and the other currencies. And usually, if you go directly to a BDC or maybe like a Malam, right, they would give you rates that are not great. But because crypto isn't controlled by any centralized authority, you always kind of have a better rate if you use crypto as the middleman in that
Yeah.
sense. Do you get what I
Yeah,
mean?
to be honest. Oh yeah, 1,000%. I mean, crypto, the fastest currency conversions can be done on crypto. It can be done just like that, right? So if you just
Yeah.
you buy stable coins, Yeah. Back when I was at my previous company, we were building a payroll system and we were in multiple countries already, but we needed a way for our users or our companies that were in multiple countries to pay salaries, right? And we explored
Mm-hmm.
the crypto thing for a while, where you can fund in naira, convert to crypto, stable coins, and then converts back to the other currency, and then using that to
Mm-hmm.
actually make the payment, right? I think it was brilliant. It didn't eventually work out too well. I can't remember exactly how it was, but definitely the currency conversion part was one of the amazing parts of it. And like you
Mm-hmm.
said, if you start going to the BDCs, it's a very long process, right? But using crypto can make it as easy as just using APIs for everything and just using your backend and converting the
And it's
currency.
way
Yeah.
cheaper as
So,
well.
and it's way cheaper, 1,000%. So yeah, definitely understand that. So I mean, I see that hitting product market fit as well, especially for the new crypto products that are coming out. But then I'm actually very interested to see how the government is going to react to that if it catches on.
Yeah.
Maybe they
Mm-hmm.
they should not go and ban it again. But yeah, but yeah, I think that would be an interesting point, to see as well. But yeah, I was also going to ask, on the technical side, how exactly do you work with building crypto companies? I'm sure people would be very excited to know about that. What are some of the stacks you use, the programming
Mm-hmm.
languages, the systems, and especially the non-custodial stack as well? Because I'm sure people will be very interested to know exactly what that is and how to build for it and how to maintain it.
Okay. That's a great question. I would say like one of the most interesting things about crypto is the blockchain technology and the fact that it is
Mm-hmm.
free, right? You need close to nothing, maybe just a laptop internet connection to become a validator and to have access to the blockchain, right? So I would say that's one thing. And just hop on your laptop, go on Solidity, a programming language that you used to write um, Ethereum transactions or like Ethereum code, and that's for the Ethereum blockchain. And then Bitcoin also uses C++, right? So it's like you can easily also access that. But what we use as that for non-custodial, what powers the whole non-custodial thing is because we sync multiple blockchains. We sync Bitcoin, we sync Ethereum, we sync Solana, Tron as well. Initially, we started with TypeScript. So we were going to use JavaScript, but then we realized, okay, this is a way bigger system than we thought, right? So JavaScript couldn't survive. So we moved to TypeScript, right? So we use TypeScript, MongoDB, basically normal stack for Node.js, but
Yeah.
TypeScript. We write some smart contracts, but smart contracts are Ethereum. It's basically Ethereum code, right? That runs on the Ethereum blockchain and that powers the Ethereum system. Then recently though, because we had like a huge surge of users, I think in January, when the whole Trump thing happened, we listed Trump. We gained 10,000 users in like less than 12 hours. And that really got our systems running hot, right? And I realized
Wow.
we couldn't use JavaScript or TypeScript anymore because we weren't able to like sync the blockchains fast enough, right? So people were having like
Mm.
delay transactions. Sometimes it would even take hours before our system would like catch up to the blockchain because of JavaScript. And we had issues with the memory as well. Like JavaScript had a lot of memory issues, but everything was really a mess. So after January, we decided, okay, we need a new solution. aside from TypeScript. And I wrote about this recently on Medium. We had to switch from JavaScript to Golang. So right now, most of our blockchain syncing and what I say transaction syncing, all of that is on Go, while we have like the basic stuff like authentication, KYC, settings, and stuff like that are still on JavaScript and TypeScript. But most of the blockchain heavy lifting stuff are on Golang currently. So we use Go routines to make sure we don't have like issues on and nothing is really blocking the other. I hope that answers the question.
1000%, 1000%. Thank you for that. Yeah. Let's quickly go into rapid fire questions before I ask. I think I have 2 questions left.
Okay.
Let's go into rapid fire questions. Yeah. So, Moore Dagogo Hart. Are you a light mode or a dark mode person?
Dark mode. I don't understand how people are light mode. They're just easy on the eyes.
I don't know. Some people say they use light mode during the day, they use dark mode at night, but I use dark mode all the time. And some people say light mode brings light into your life. You know, it elevates your mood, but now sometimes it's just too harsh on the eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
I mean, it
awesome.
depends on the product and like why you're using it though. Because I feel like for like when I'm reading, right, I would prefer, it depends on what I'm reading. If I'm writing like a doc, then I'll prefer light mode because that just gives me more energy. It makes me like want to go further. But if I'm like reading a book, I use dark mode so I don't sleep.
It's especially at night because it's just so bright and hitting your eyes all the time.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Do you prefer calling or texting?
I'm a texting guy. I mean, I'm Gen Z, so like we grew up in the chatting, texting like era. So I definitely prefer texting. But recently, I think I've been calling more because I feel like sometimes you can't get that emotion through text, even though I use a lot of emojis and stuff. But still, sometimes they're not enough, and people could take the message wrongly. So I just like have a quick call, but no long calls. Just quick calls.
1000%. So I'm also a very big texter, but I'm trying to call more these days. You know, trying to make more phone calls, and like you said, short calls only. Because there's just so many things happening at the same time, and when you're texting, you can multitask. But when you're calling, it's very difficult to multitask unless maybe you're doing dishes or taking a walk. You know, but if you are working, you cannot be calling and be multitasking. So it's quite difficult sometimes. How about dogs or cats, or no pets at all?
Personally, I'll say no pets at all. But I've had a dog in the past. Unfortunately, the dog passed away.
How was the experience? Oh,
it was
sorry about that.
It was thank you. Well, it was. I mean, it was a bittersweet experience. I mean, sometimes you'd be happy that like you have a dog, but it was a husky, right? So it was always crying, always making noise. And then eventually, like my building told me that I had to like get rid of the dog because dogs are not allowed. It was crazy. It was a crazy experience.
That must have sucked. Yeah, I'm also no pets, but I'm open to having a dog. Maybe. I don't know. Dogs are cute from afar. Like when I go to my friend's house, I can play with their dogs. But then I see how they poop everywhere.
Yeah.
They are too energetic. They run up and down. You have to really take care of them. So that responsibility.
Yeah, it's kind of like taking care of a kid. Like it's very tasking.
It's extremely tasking. So for now, no pets at all for me. Tea or coffee? I feel like I know the answer to this one.
Growing up, I was a tea guy. I feel like ever since I started like running companies, I've become a coffee guy, right? Because like when I wake up in the morning, that's the first thing I do. I just drink a cup of coffee to start the whole day. So yeah, I'm definitely a coffee guy now.
Yeah, I mean, especially when I don't sleep early enough, it's like a slippery slope. You know, you're a tea person, you like tea, your parents like tea, you know, they indoctrinated you into the tea. to becoming a tea loving person. And then eventually you start working, you start sleeping late, you start working nights, and then you have to wake up very early. Coffee is just the way to go, or I'm just going to be groggy the entire day. So, and then it's
Yeah.
like a slippery slope. You just get addicted, and then coffee. Even at
Yeah.
night, coffee. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's
I took my
it's
second
bad.
glass after. It's crazy.
I had a glass before this call. Yeah, it's bad. So yeah, that's awesome. Oh yeah, I forgot to ask, Marvel or DC or no comics at all?
Marvel, man, like my favorite character in like ever in any superhero movie or anything is Iron Man. I just feel like he really embodies the kind of person that I want to be like, or the kind of person I am, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's that technology,
yeah.
everything, tech, AI. Yeah, Iron Man. So definitely Marvel, no DC.
Iron Man is amazing,
Mhm.
amazing. Okay,
Tony
so
Stark.
yeah, I have two more questions. So imagine that cryptocurrency regulators are watching this podcast right now. What would you say to them?
Okay, so first thing I'll say is don't fight innovation, right? Try regulating outcomes, not the process,
Not
right?
feelings.
Because exactly, right? Because I mean, people need to build stuff and for them to build, they need to innovate, right? So if regulators are coming in and stopping them, it's going to be very hard for us to like build those things. For example, in 2022, crypto was banned, and that really even because that's when we even wanted to start Zap, and just crypto being banned, everyone was looking at us like, "What are you guys doing?" But thankfully, they were able to like open it up, start creating like a pathway to the license, and that helped us build. So, I also feel like they should listen to builders, right? Because there's no one that really understands the problems more than the people that are actually building it and like inside the industry, right? So it's like don't fight innovation, regulate outcomes, and listen to builders. Yeah, I feel like those are like three things I'll tell them if they were here right now.
Well said, well said. And if they are watching, guys, listen or listen.
Please listen.
Yeah, please listen. Yeah,
hmm
that's
I,
awesome.
I I mean I'll also say that
And
like crypto isn't going anywhere, right?
no, hell no,
If they try
it's
to
not going
stop
anywhere.
crypto, people are going to use it on the low key. So is it better for people to use it on the low key and then get scammed and use it the wrong way, or they work with builders, right? And people are able to use it in a well regulated and safe manner. So yeah, like we can't really fight crypto because it's here to stay. So let's do it the
Yeah,
right way.
yeah, agreed. 1000% agreed. Okay. Finally, what excites you the most about the future of crypto on the continent?
I mean, what excites me the most is really the fact that more people are building crypto products. So I feel like that gives us a chance to be more than just users of crypto, especially in Africa, but also like builders of crypto and crypto infrastructure. I'll give an example. There's this API service called Block Radar. People might think companies like Zap we should like compete with other crypto companies, but I feel like if everyone is building right and everyone is building real infrastructure, something like Block Radar, we could all collaborate and not compete. So that really makes me excited that it's still a handful of crypto founders in Africa, but every month we're growing. There's more people trying to build products because if we have African wallets, African exchanges, African APIs, right, people would be able to like onboard into crypto in Africa the right way. Kind of like how we have Flutterwave, we have OPay. OPay is a big one because it really solved major problems in our finance, right? So that really excites me, like being able to collaborate with some of these founders and some of these companies to push the future of crypto in Africa.
Yeah, thank you so much. Where can people reach out to you if they want to find out more about you, find out more about Zap and other things?
So if you want to reach out to me directly, you can reach out on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is Moore Dagogo Hart, my full name. You can reach out to me on Twitter as well, X, right? More_DH. You could also reach out on Instagram, more DH. And then if you want to find out more about Zap, you can go to our website, which is zap.africa. We just released a new website, so that would be nice for you to check it out. You could go to our Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram is the same thing. Get Zap now, right? So you can just check out our pages, know what we're up to, and stay tuned for like updates and stuff.
All right, that's awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Really amazing. Yeah,
Thank
let
you for
me
having me.
let me throw my own plug in there. So guys,
Okay.
this is Teapot, the Pulse of Tech. Engage with us on social media, share your feedback, tell us who you'd like to hear from in future episodes. Our handle is Pulse of Tech Pod on all platforms. And if you want to say hi to me personally, hit me up at Wolede, WOLED, on all social media platforms, and Lady Adeni on LinkedIn. So thank you so much, guys, for listening to the end. This has been amazing, and stay tuned for more future episodes. Peace.
All right. Thank you, lady. Have a good one.